Thank you. Good afternoon, chairs, esteemed committee. Brianna January with Chamber of Progress in strong support of LD 913. Chamber of Progress is a tech industry coalition advocating for the progressive future of tech and inclusive access to that future. I will note that our members do include innovators like Vivid Seats and StubHub, but unlike most trade associations, they do not have a vote or veto on our positions. We thank the Senate President for bringing this balanced approach to ticketing resales forward. We do believe that this will both protect consumer choice in Maine and will also rein in the monopoly on ticketing. And committee, I would like to briefly walk through the current resale market situation and why we feel that this bill is so important. You do have my written testimony, so I will be brief. As you've already heard, some online ticket marketplaces like Ticketmaster, for example, enjoy a unique position as both the original ticket seller and as a resale market for live events. And Ticketmaster's position in the market is reinforced by its partnership with Live Nation, which is an event promoter that works with venues to set the terms of entry and ticket sales. And likely, probably the reason why you will hear from some smaller venues as to why they might oppose the bill. But as a result, Ticketmaster is essentially able to restrict how consumers use the tickets that they have already purchased. In some cases, Ticketmaster and Live Nation prohibit the resale of tickets altogether. In others, they require that tickets only be resold through Ticketmaster's own ticket resale platform. By some estimates, committee, we've heard that this unique position has given Ticketmaster control of over about 80% of the national market for ticketing and live events. And their market power has even recently garnered significant attention and even prompted a lawsuit from the Department of Justice and interest by the FTC. So, committee, we believe that LD 913 would help rebalance the ticketing market by increasing consumer choice and promoting competition from ticket resale marketplaces. Protecting the right to ticket transferability breaks some of that hold that the large primary ticket sellers and resellers have on the industry and creates a more competitive market for buyers and sellers in Maine. And we look forward to seeing the Senate President's amendment language. In general, Chamber of Progress is very pro-transparency with pricing. But with that, we encourage the passage of LD 913, and we look forward to working with the committee to restore this important balance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Representative Cullimore.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much for bringing this before us. I just had, as you were talking about that, and I guess something finally clicked into place after Representative Roberts mentioned where she lived, is, sometimes I buy tickets. I live in Maine, and I buy tickets to go to Manchester or to Boston because Maine's not a hot spot necessarily. How would something like this, in your experience in a northeastern region, would tickets purchased for out-of-state vendors or out-of-state places still fall under this, or is it only for events that happen in the state of Maine?
Thank you for that question. It's a fantastic one. I do believe that it would only be for events that happen and take place in Maine itself, but it would cover anything from sporting events to live media, theater, shows, etc. That said, as you heard previously, there are several neighboring states that have passed similar protections, and so we're hoping, I happen to be the Northeast Government Affairs Director for Chamber of Progress. I'm working with many states in the region, and we're hoping that this becomes a model balanced approach for the region.
Representative Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. How is it that the primary market originator, the large companies, how is it that they have any control over a secondary market coming into existence? How do they do that?
That's an excellent question, and it's exactly what the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission are both looking into. In our knowledge, what's basically happened is, not to call them out, but it is primarily Ticketmaster, as you heard, about 80% of the national market. Their contracting basically not only means that they're restricted to working with Live Nation, but they also have policies in place that once you buy a ticket from Ticketmaster, you cannot actually resell that ticket unless you do so through either the venue or Ticketmaster themselves. And so they've basically created a system where not only are they the primary seller because you have to purchase through them, and if you want to go to a Live Nation show, which is where all of your big performers like Taylor Swift, for example, are going to be through Live Nation, then you have to purchase through Ticketmaster. And then if you were to want to resell, in their clauses of contracts and all of the things that people always, skip through reading when you buy tickets, all of that fine print, you have to resell back on their own platform. So they're essentially making off both with the resale, with the original sales, and then again with the resale. And so then you have smaller innovators that are looking to just help consumers resell tickets because there's a family emergency, there's something pops up and you can no longer make it, you're sick, etc. They've been more or less priced out of the market because there's this monopoly that Ticketmaster has, and then there's also the dynamic between Ticketmaster and Live Nation, in which the venues themselves are basically beholden to Ticketmaster as well.
Follow up?
I still don't understand. Apologies. And I don't buy tickets. I don't do that. But I assume whether it's, there's no hard copy. So there's some kind of a code by which I can log in and pull up something and I can get in the door that way. How come
Exactly.
I can't tell my brother-in-law to do it with my code, with my name? Why, and how do they control this? And if I can do it with my brother-in-law for free or for $1, how come I can't do it with somebody I don't know? What's the actual, I don't want to say physical control. I can understand they want to do this and they have their quote unquote policies, but how do they restrict someone who owns this ticket from being able to sell everything associated with being able to use it?
Yeah. Again, it goes back to really their relationship with Live Nation. A lot of times there are clauses where these venues will say only the original ticket holder or only through a resale by Ticketmaster, for example, on the platform that you originally bought the ticket, can actually enter the facility and have your ticket deemed as valid. And so there's no mechanism when you have that situation, there's no mechanism other than reselling on Ticketmaster itself, because you may own that email that says that you have a ticket, but without you being able to sell it in a manner in which the venue and actual event will accept that ticket. And the only way to do so right now, really, with this system is through reselling on Ticketmaster, because there is this symbiotic relationship between Live Nation and Ticketmaster.
Great. Thank you.
It doesn't sound like something that should be able to logistically work, but it does.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you can't change your name on the ticket, right? Unless the platform allows you to do so. And so you can, quote, gift your cousin the ticket, but if he shows up at the door and it's got your name on it, he's not going to get in.
Right. Thank you very much. I see no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
You should always give testimony with your cat in the background.
I'm so sorry. My two expert witnesses, they are waiting on Zoom, so, but also big fans of live events.
Thank you.
Thank you.